What's up, everybody? Welcome into the DFS Karma breakdown for the Honda Classic. I don't know if we have a legitimate name for this podcast that we're bringing you. I think Sam said it's called Teeing It Up, so we're going to go with that. But I am a little bit different host than we normally have. Anthony's out this week, so we brought in myself, Ben, and then we have Sam, the usual suspect here, and then friend of the show, friend of the company, Rueb, is here as well. Rueb is the richest one of us all. So just
Yeah.
you can bake that in whenever you're listening to our analysis here. You can just bake in that he clearly has the most money between all three of us here. So
Just so you're aware,
that's
like
good. But
Rueb could play
Sam,
the
how are we
Rueb could
doing
play
this?
the Thunderdome. He could play the Thunderdome and you wouldn't even notice. Like you wouldn't notice the money was gone. That's how rich he
I
is.
did punt it off last week. Thanks for the humble intro, guys. I do appreciate that. Missed doing pods with you guys. I'm happy to be back. I'm excited. I did punt off I don't know, I think it was like 3K last week playing Gooch, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Sam, how'd you do last week, buddy?
Yeah. Rueb knows that I got smoked, and it is also because of Gooch. What's so funny is that week, while like obviously there's a lot of losing weeks, Gooch's response, and when they didn't see it, to this Twitter troll trying to tag him made me like not even mad.
That was great.
That
Yep.
was just absolutely electric. Just body bagging that twice.
Well, you sent it to me, and I initially thought, I was like, oh, like, did he go out of his way, like, just to find a tweet? No, the guy like tagged him. First rule of any gambling or DFS or anything, if you go online and you tag an athlete because they didn't do well, like, you're just a loser, and you're probably broke and you're probably poor.
Just end
So
it. Yeah, that's
yeah.
just it's a really tough scene. Like yeah, it's like this guy. I want to be like, dude, you would shoot 150 on the front nine. But yeah, last week was a brutal one because I didn't have Neiman. I was telling this. I think I told this to you guys. It's like a tournament like that. It's a great field, and it's amazing to watch someone like that, like Neiman, do what he did. But it sucks from like a DFS viewing perspective because it's like there was not really a sweat. Like this guy just dominated. And then also when you have Gooch shoot like 79 on the first day, that's a tough scene. But regardless, this week is awesome. I'm glad you guys are both here for this one because I think this is like the first tournament probably since last year where this is like much tougher of a course and there's a lot more decisions to be made on like playing guys that kind of have higher made cut equity and things like that because the chalk here every year gets like just crushed and the field is not that strong, which yeah, that kind of stinks, but that'll bring in even more volatility. And so I'm pretty excited for this week. I'm pretty excited to see how much chalk Rueb plays because he is the chalk monster. Did you play more
That
chalk
is
than
pretty.
Anthony?
Just play the good plays. I mean, what's so hard, Sam? It's just an easy game. But that even this week, I'm
It's
a little. Even this
that
week, I'm
part. That's the
terrified,
part
man.
that's hard. That's the part that's hard for me is playing the good plays.
Yeah.
I don't get that concept because
But
I play
even as
guys.
someone who
Yeah.
like jams chalk, like I recognize the volatility on this course. I think it's 15 holes have water. Obviously we have
Yeah.
the bear trap and I mean it's going to be a single digit winner this week. I think unless someone goes crazy like Neiman did last week, plays just unconscious. But it's difficult not to find water. We're gonna have at like 8 a.m. on Thursday. Some of us are gonna be dead. You're gonna have dead
Oh my
lineups.
God.
8 a.m. on
The
Thursday.
the tilt, especially being a Florida tournament, and since I'm in Central Time, aka the best time zone. Yeah, you could wake up at like 7:30, an hour and a half into the tournament, and some guy is like 7 over through 5.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you
because
could
that's
just
the
be
thing
dead.
is the bear trap is what's always talked about, but their other stretch of holes on the front nine is like equally or even more hard than the bear trap. And I was telling you guys pre-pod, I was looking this up for one of our one of our subs in Discord today. It's like if you go through the guys in the field this week, and of anyone who's played it at least 3 times, there are 6 guys who have not missed a cut. It's like crazy. Like even the guys with quote unquote the best course history are susceptible to getting smoked, especially if the wind comes up. And yeah, so it should be a
Yeah,
fun time.
I do
Ben.
think we're supposed to have some. I think it's supposed to be some wind. We're supposed to have like 20 to 30 mile per hour winds as well,
Oh yeah,
which add that in with the water. It's going to be a mess, and I'm excited for it, and I'm ready to tilt my face off this weekend.
yeah. Ben, are you gonna be playing a lineup?
Yeah. I've been regularly putting in a lineup for PGA, so I definitely will we'll put a lineup in, and I've been hitting the betting streets hard. So we're gonna talk about some bets at the end after we
Yeah, if you
go
guys
through the
didn't know,
DFS slate here.
Ben is a degenerate. Ben is a
I am.
degenerate golf gambler now. If anyone's
Yeah.
unaware, everyone knows him from the football, basketball, baseball streets, but this guy also is a shark. So
Yeah,
be ready.
just any money I made in the NFL playoffs betting, I'm just blowing it all here, PGA. But it's fun to watch, so I'm fine with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so we can start like AC I normally do. We'll start 10K and up, and then we'll kind of go down by pricing tier. I have interesting thoughts. So Rueb, I'll ask you first from the 10K up, those 5 guys. Who are you playing? Who are you fading? I assume you're still team 1 lineup, so I assume this is all you're talking. This is like a 1 lineup single entry.
Yeah, probably just 1 lineup single entry for me. I don't know. I mean, this area is obviously gonna be popular. We have Sungjae and Louis at the top, who are, they're gonna get a ton of ownership. I mean, I saw some ownership projections out there that have Sungjae approaching 30% ownership, and especially after everything we just discussed, I can't see myself playing into that. Maybe that's a mistake given his course history and how well he's played. I know that you might feel differently, Sam. I just feel like it's either you're all in on Sungjae or you're all out this week, and I'm struggling to find myself playing him. I don't even know if I'm going to start my lineup with someone in this 10K range. I think the interesting conversation, because this isn't really like a get right course. You really want to have someone who's been playing well, and I mean, who's playing better than Joaquin Niemann right now. So I think he's an interesting discussion, and I think some people will go back to him just because of what they saw last week. But it's tough to pay that 10.6K price tag for him. If I was going to go with one guy in this range that is kind of interesting to me, and I don't know what people are going to do because of the injury stuff that's going on with him, Daniel Berger. So what do you think about him, Sam? I think he's really interesting and probably my favorite guy in the 10K range, not going to lie.
Yeah, I like Berger a lot, especially it's like he's getting ownership, but not insane. I mean, it's tough because I completely agree with you in terms of it's not a spot to get right. And I just don't, I feel like I just don't know because the other week, I'm not sure if you guys were watching, but it's like Berger is like injured, he's injured. Then he's like, okay, I'm playing and he's fine. And then he comes out and misses the cut, which is awesome. And it's like, I don't know. I wonder if that was just a miscut, if he's still hurt. Because I agree with you that he, being the 4th price guy, he probably is, in my opinion, probably has the highest odds to win. So I like Berger. Niemann, if you guys watch AC and I talk about all the time how it's funny when someone wins, everyone says they're tired, no one plays them. But people do seem to be playing Niemann, so I like him, but I definitely am not making him a focal point considering he's not going to be like unowned. And yeah, with Sungjae, I don't know. I completely again agree with you about how you kind of have to be all in or all out. I mean, I like being all in on Sungjae in terms of like a small field single entry or cash because I think he'll be shocked to the point where in large field it's normally a fade for me for golf, but I don't think it would absolutely crush you if he ends up being 30% owned and misses the cut. I mean, it's not great, but yeah, I think the interesting conversation is I don't know why I'm just like have no interest in playing Louis. I don't know what your thoughts are on Louis, but like I get he's really good and he takes a lot of time off in general, but like his course history isn't that great. We know, I mean, at the second highest price, I mean, this price point, you got to pick one or the other. I mean, I'd have way more confidence in Sungjae, Niemann, or even Berger, coming top 5 or winning much more than Louis. But that's probably famous last words.
Yeah, but I don't even think Louis hasn't won in the States yet, right?
No.
People are playing him. Yeah. I mean, how are you playing a guy? He hasn't won in the States. He's second highest priced golfer. Like, and his course history is good, but it's volatile here. So like, I don't know. I'm just not very interested at all, especially if I'm playing into ownership.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if Louis was like in the 8s, I think it's a different conversation, but I don't like him at that point. Are you playing the last guy I guess we'll mention? I never play Brooks because I hate him. Are you playing? Do you have any interest in Brooks?
It doesn't really feel like a Brooks spot to me. I mean, the course doesn't really set up perfectly for him. And then listen, if it's not a big stage, Brooks isn't motivated, even with his brother there. So I'm not super interested.
Yeah, Ben, any thoughts on the 10K? Ben, what are your thoughts on Brooks? This will depend on our
Oh,
friendship.
I hate Brooks.
Okay, good.
Not a Brooks guy. Personally, just watching golf, just not a big fan of him. But I know it's a little bit different this week because there's not as many. Last week there were so many big names playing, right? Like the field was just stacked, so it's a little bit different this week. But dude, you couldn't convince me to play John Rahm at 11K last week. I don't care who's playing in this. I'm not paying 11K for some JM. It's just not happening.
That's
Yeah,
probably a good way to think
that's
about it. I mean,
I
in
feel the
terms of the
same
weaker
way.
field. Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, it's a weird one because like I think Sungjae, because the field stinks and he's like, he's a former winner here, whatever, he'll automatically get steamed. I I just it's one of those things for me where I like him and I will play him, but I completely agree that he is very fadeable in really any format except for cash because of the randomness, and at that price point, he does have to kind of come top five.
Yeah. I also
Moving
think one
down, go
just
ahead.
one more thing about Sungjae, just especially with the structure of this field. I don't know about you guys, but I don't love a ton of the 6K range, and you're gonna have to get into there if you are
Yep.
playing Sungjae. So that to me is important as well. Just some slate context there.
Yeah. Moving down, I don't know what we're doing here, but Billy Horschel is the chalk. That I don't know if there's anything that
Welcome
could.
to my favorite golfer of the week, Sam. Billy Ho,
Oh
baby.
my. Okay, so
Oh,
okay, so
no.
I'll start out with, and I put this like briefly in my article on the highest zone, is that I I get it. I really do. He's an elite. He has a great short game, one of the best on tour. He's really good in Bermuda. He's really good in Florida. Yada yada yada. Everyone knows this. But like Billy Horschel, right? Like he still like kind of sucks, right? And he can do a short game for a while, but like if you look at his past tournaments, he legitimately is like one of the shittiest ball strikers. He just would actually makes every single putt. So maybe he keeps doing that, but like, dude, at a course where the chalk gets killed and Billy Horschel, who he is, like 20%, that is like a cross off for me. But
I
I'll
I
hear your
think
argument.
I think for me, well, his par four scoring at 400 to 450 is like top 10 on tour, which is really appealing. And he's played well here, and I was super encouraged with how he's played on the West Coast. I was pretty inspired by his recent form too, as well. So that's kind of it. Kind of all fit together. I understand what you're saying about playing 20% on Billy Horschel, but we got to start our lineup somewhere. You know what I mean? And I think this is my favorite range. I almost prefer. This is why I'm kind of off Sungjae, is because I want to kind of play two guys in this like mid to high 9K range to start my lineup, and not have to dive down into that 6K range. It just create a little bit more balanced approach. Like I think this is my favorite range right here at the top with Tommy Fleetwood, Billy Horschel, and Shane Lowry.
Okay, so yeah, that's sick. I think Ben's on the same page. I do love Shane Lowry. I'm actually shocked. I feel like normally when I have a guy in the mid nines who I think is interesting, I feel like he normally ends up getting steamed up. Shane Lowry is like not going to be chalk, and that's interesting because Shane Lowry in any, most quote unquote like stat models, he's not going to show anything because he hasn't played in the PGA Tour, but he's been playing over in Europe. He's been playing well, 3 straight top 25. So, I mean, this is like grind it out. That's Shane Lowry. I mean, and plus, since Ben's on him, I know it's the right play. So,
Yeah, Lowry was my favorite in that range, so I'm glad that Sam's on him. But I mean, I
Actually,
guess you could sell me on Horschel, I guess. But what is his projected ownership? Did you say, Sam?
I have him at like 20% right now, which is just
I
really
think that's
gross.
about right.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I don't see that it coming down from there either.
I mean, okay, Rueb, if you're playing Horschel, are you also playing what I project as a 22% on Keith Mitchell? Because that might be even worse.
No, probably not. I haven't really considered playing Keith Mitchell. The other guy that I really liked in this range, I really like Tommy Fleetwood, man. I think he's played really well here. He's played well overseas. He's got good form coming in. I really like Tommy Fleetwood in this spot. He's actually been steamed in the betting market quite a bit, which I was shocked. So I think a lot of people are on him. But
yeah, it's
to
weird.
your
He
point about
he
him,
gets the Zane. Go ahead.
He's not going to pop in stat models, though. That's the one thing. That's what I
Yeah.
think keeps his ownership down, is because when anyone's running up an optimizer or looking at their models, letting the math do the work for them, they're what do you call it? They're not going to shout out AC. They're not going to get onto Tommy Fleetwood. You know what I mean? So I think his ownership stays down, and just great course history, great form.
Yeah, it's weird. I never played Fleetwood because I was he's overrated. And like you said, it's true. He gets steamed in the betting markets like a Xander, where he just is popular and people like him. I think it's interesting because he's not showing to be mega chalk because of Horschel right there and Keith Mitchell's. I think Fleetwood's interesting. I mean, would you play if you like Horschel a lot? Are you gonna consider playing Fleetwood, Horschel, and Lowry? Or are you picking two of them?
No, two of them for me. It would be two in that range. So it'd be kind of making that decision of the three of them is kind of where I'm considering starting my lineup, not even diving into that 10K range and just sticking right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Keith Mitchell rates out for me as number one, which is number one scary. I mean, he has the history. He's playing really well right now, ball striking wise. My only concern is number one, just again the chalk. I don't know if I want to do that in like a single entry. I will play him in tournaments, but Keith Mitchell, like he won here and everything like that, but he's definitely someone who can make some huge numbers. So I don't know. That remains to be seen. Moving down, I like Mito Pereira. I'm not sure if you guys know him. He's like semi-newer. He started on the tour last year. He's an elite ball striker, really shitty short game, so just the kind of guy I like. But this is a great course for him, 89. And he's not actually going to get us. I don't think going to get us chalkies. I thought he was going to.
Yeah, it looks like we have some pretty flat ownership here in this 8K range, which is good. You know, we don't want to be, if we like this range, we want to be getting into chalk here. I actually like the bottom of this 8K range. We were talking about it before. You could probably say the name better than I can, but Boozenhoot, that's a guy I'm on this. Yeah, there you go. That's a guy I'm on, Sam. I know we were talking a little bit about this course coming into it. I think guys go less than driver here, probably more, especially with the wind, man. I mean, they're not going to the wind in this water. It's going to be ugly if guys are trying to bomb it out there. I think you got to be you have to take safer approaches and just, like you said, grind it out here. And as someone who excels in that less than driver approach, I kind of like him here.
Oh yeah, I mean, Seabez is like kind of he hasn't played here, but is like he fits exactly what you want, where he gets a lot of fairways. The distance, like he'll lose, strokes to the field because he doesn't hit it far, but he hits a lot of fairways, and he's such an elite putter and saves a lot of pars. So I like him a lot, and I think he'll get owned, but I think his ownership will definitely be mitigated because he's right next to Russell Knox, who will be the chalk bust of the week. Yeah, the only other guy I was gonna say, and I'm saying right now, this is like a bad play. I'm playing Patrick.
I wonder if it's.
at 3%.
Oh, okay. I was
Patrick
gonna say
Reed?
I like someone here, and that's not who I was going for.
So Patrick Reed, like there is not one thing that points to him being a good play. I am completely basing it off of long term. Like he would play this course well in terms of course fit. Like great short game, saves a lot of pars, and I don't know what's going on with him right now. It's been real bad. It's more like, if this makes any sense, it's like if he's going to be 4% owned, I think Patrick Reed hits value at least 10 to 15% of the time compared to what his ownership is. I'm willing to take that risk in like large field tournaments. Obviously, I would never play him given how he's playing right now in like small field or cash, but I think Reed is at least like interesting in terms of like getting away from the high price. He's just so expensive. I mean, he's played so bad. I don't know what's going on with him. Too much cheating.
Sam, I do have to ask you. You got to convince me on the Gary Woodland play because, yes, he can club down and he can pick up some yardage here, but I don't know, man. I can't get on to Gary Woodland. I actually thought he might catch some steam because I heard some people talking about him, but it looks like the ownership's going to be like really in check here in this range, which makes him a little bit more appealing than I initially thought.
So here's my thoughts on Gary Woodland: is his current form sucks. Yes. However, if you look into it, it's his normal stuff of like bad short game. The reason I like Gary is, number one, he's one of those 6 guys that I was mentioning at the top, where he's actually made 6 of 6 cuts here, number one. Number two, he has a lot of distance, but he also takes a lot of less than driver, like you were mentioning, and hits a lot of fairways. And it's weird if it all obviously depends like all these guys on the putter, but Gary like his around the green like chipping everything like that, like when he won the U.S. Open and he's contended here before, is actually really strong. It's just a matter of he makes the putts, and I just like playing him in these kind of fields. Weirdly enough, you have to grind it out because he, I don't know, he's one of those ones where it's hard to track. Like a guy like him or Patrick Reed or these other kind of lower guys, it's like they won't be in form, but then they kind of just have this long-term form that kind of can come together. And it's similar to some guys where I just like that I'm getting him at low ownership because Gary, I feel like normally it gets pretty popular. I don't know if he had made like one more cut in his last 5, I feel like he'd be more popular. But since he's missed his last 4 and 5, which I think 2 of them are on the number. So
Yeah, I think the one thing that's appealing about Gary, and I know we think of we both like these similar type of golfers where like if the putter gets hot, they can win. You know,
yeah,
where like look at Colin Morikawa. It's like the last 5 events where he's picked up strokes putting. It's like first, second, fifth, third, second, or something like that. Like these guys are just like good ball strikers, and their approach game is, and they can pick up yards off the tee. Like if the putter gets hot, you know, and it's the most most variable stat of them all, you know?
No, I agree. And like that's you said exactly what I make a point about a lot too is like when you look at like win equity, it's like Gary can like actually win. I'm not saying he will, but like anything can happen, and any of these guys can quote unquote win, but like do we really think that like Brian Harmon or Mackenzie Hughes or Russell Knox is gonna win this tournament? No. So like Gary's right there and like actually can win and has upside, but it comes with a lot of volatility. He could also shoot 10 over, but embrace the risk.
Yeah, we're not betting Gary top 20s. We're betting Gary outrights.
That's and I did bet Gary outright because I always do. Yeah, I mentioned him a little bit. Russell Knox, I get it. He's ball striking and is pretty elite right now, but it's tough to overlook just how bad the putter is, and not to mention, course history. I think he's missed his last 4 to 5 cuts here. I mean, that's just for me an easy pivot. I hope Rueb's not playing him.
I'm not. I am not actually. I'm not on Russell Knox. Why do that when we got my guy right below him?
Exactly. Kind of moving down the same range. Ryan Palmer, we were talking about a little bit pre-pod. I mean, Palmer's interesting. It's funny because like all the people talk about how, oh yeah, Knox has like the best score relative par on the bear trap, yada yada, but his course history sucks. Whereas Ryan Palmer's put like 5,000 balls in a bear trap, but like that doesn't mean his course history is bad. It just means he's made like a lot of triples. Like he's playing well. He has sneaky distance. I normally make jokes about avoiding any course with water for Ryan Palmer because he always finds it, but I think he's a solid play at 79. Given the field, like I think he's kind of a decent value at 79. Not sure your thoughts.
Yeah, just to harp on the Knox stuff. Like I know the big thing this week is going to be that what's he like -6 on the bear trap or something like that, 6 under on the bear trap. Like to me, that just screams variance. You know, that's gonna come around to bite him in the ass. You know, everything comes back to the median. So I'm not really on him.
Plus, I mean, like if that's great. If he's gonna be -6 on that, that's awesome. But if he's plus 25 in the other holes, and I don't.
Yeah, I actually think this range is awesome. This like top of the 7-9, low 8s is really nice. Like I think Taylor Moore is a pretty interesting player as well. He's actually been steamed in the betting markets quite a bit. I think he has one of the best odds to win in this range that we're talking about right now. But he doesn't seem to be picking up traction in the DFS community, which is appealing to me.
No one knows who he is. Yeah. Yeah, there's just not a ton of data, so it's like I think some of his stats that like because he kind of pops in mind a little bit can get kind of skewed with a limited sample, like a lot of these kind of newcomers. But I think he's interesting and definitely interesting in tournaments in terms of, I think that Palmer, Seabez, Knox will all get some ownership, if not 10+%, and I think he'll probably be forgotten right there. Kind of, I don't know. These guys are. I told you I broke my own rule about I said you guys pre-pod of me talking about every guy, so I'm trying not to. But the chalk that I hate that's becoming chalk well as two of my guys I play all the time. And that's Chris Kirk, Lucas Glover. Glover, I don't know what his deal is, but I always play him and he never rewards me. So I'll probably play him again this week. Chris Kirk is playing well, but dude, Chris Kirk at 15% ownership, that might be a fade.
You know who I actually think is gonna I think is gonna pick up some traction, especially in cash games. CT Pan. I could see his ownership. I see we have it projected at 10% right now. If it finished in like the 15% range, that wouldn't surprise me for him. I've heard a lot of people talking about him this week. And how this course kind of fits him, and he putts really well in Bermuda. So people are really on CT Pan. So I could see that ownership going up, especially in single entry small field stuff.
Yeah, I let CT because he had a good week last week. The problem is he's the kind of person like he can like play like he does well in these lesson driver courses and weaker fields, but he also has a terrible short game. So it's like it's hard to. I don't know. He just seems even for this field expensive. Like CT is 77, but like first of all, it's hilarious that he's more expensive than Ricky. But like there's guys around him that I'd rather play. I mean. I don't know. He's someone where it makes me sense. I'm not prioritizing. I'm not against it, but I'm not prioritizing. I thought you were going to say Michael Thompson.
This isn't a DFS question specifically, but what is the story with Ricky? I mean, what like this guy is like mid sevens on DraftKings. Like,
yeah.
what happened to this guy?
So he fell into the curse that unfortunately Spieth did, where he got married and now sucks. I don't know what's been going on.
I thought you were going to say it was like an Anthony, like AC, like said he was going to win or something.
he probably did. He may have cursed him. We actually don't know that. We'll look into that. But Ricky this week is like kind of interesting. He like has been playing definitely better.
Yeah, I don't think he's been playing bad, and this price jumped out to me. Just like I mean,
I have him as my number one.
I don't love this range.
No, and I have him as my number one, course history rank guy. I mean, I think if Ricky plays well this week, this will probably be the last time you have him not owned. Mm-hmm. And I think it's interesting. The problem is it's like at this current point, Rueb said off the top, and I completely agree. It's like this is not a place to kind of find your game. Now, not that Ricky's like just playing for the first time in weeks, but his last couple starts have been. Let's see, he finished 55th last week and missed 3 cuts before that. Nice. 4 cuts before that. So I mean,
there's a lot of people out there who are like, Ricky shouldn't have his tour card. Like he's never going to be owned. People are taking this guy's tour card from him, like no one's playing Ricky. I don't think people didn't play him when he was sub 7K. He was sub 7K last week.
Ricky.
Yeah,
I'm playing Ricky.
All right. Ben's on Ricky. I might be on Ricky then. I mean, Rueb, I thought you were going to mention Michael Thompson. People are talking about him. He's that older guy. He's played well here. I'm not. Michael Thompson and a guy who's like
age model for me,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I don't at 10%. Like, what am I? I guess I'll quote unquote take the risk. I mean, I don't really see that point there.
Yeah,
the guy,
not
some lower owned guys. I was on the other week and he came through for us. Steph Straka, like a 74. He's right on a lot of these chalk guys. No one's gonna play him. I don't know why Aaron Rye is getting steamed up. I feel like people just found out who he was like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I don't know. This range, it's interesting. The mid, I think, has a lot of guys. Like, I think a lot of people in cash are gonna go like Sungjae, and then someone in that upper tier, and then they're gonna go like Chris Kirk, which as a cash play, that's terrifying. Glover, I don't know. Glover, Rueb, have you been through the Glover experience?
No, not really. I think I played him once last year. And yeah, I think he takes you for a ride. He's really bad putter, right?
Maybe this hyperbole is used a lot for a lot of people. He may actually be the worst putter.
Yeah.
There's like a case to be made. Yeah.
He's like worse than Luke List, which is just, I got that experience last week, him missing one off the number too. That was fun. That was a good time.
Yeah, and to make you feel better, did you see like why he missed? Because
yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was great. Yep. I felt really good about it. Yeah, when I opened up the app on Friday and saw.
Yeah, I'm just glad he's back to himself. One guy I'm playing at 73. I thought he was chalk that he is. I have not played Charles Howell III in like 4 years. Dude, just been consistent, making cuts. Only 73. I mean, this is get to the range where you have to differentiate. Like I'm not playing Charles Howell because I think he's going to win the whole thing, but I think for this field, I mean, talk about guys consistent, going to avoid the big numbers. Chucky 3 sticks, let's go. 7,300.
Yeah, for me, he feels like way more of like a single entry 3-max play instead of a large field, just for that consistency, which is nice.
High floor, probably limited ceiling, but a couple other guys. I like Nick Taylor, 72. I play Brendan Steele a lot for some reason, but he like weirdly has played pretty well at this course. I know Rueb is this guy's getting chalky at I think at the bottom, so you're probably playing Hudson Swafford at 71.
No, I'm not playing him. Dude, it's tough in this low 7 range. And then I said it earlier, but even when we get into this 6K discussion, for me, it's really tough to find plays that I really like under that, like, I don't even know, under this, like under CT Pan, like it gets kind of rough,
I like one guy under 7K.
Yeah, it's really tough. I only had one guy I liked, and he's in my lineup right now just because I needed him.
Let's hear it.
I like Hickok, or however you say
it.
You
do.
I like Kramer. Him. Yeah, I like that. I like him. That's the only one of the guys I really like. Yeah.
I'll just give like a couple. I'll give a couple guys in there. I like him. Good, nice. God, Ben, you're such a goat. I like him. This guy, number one, I love his name, Austin Smotherman. This kid's like actually good. He popped a couple weeks ago. Sick name.
Oh my God.
Satoshi Kodaira, he is a wagon. He is the ultimate tournament guy. He legitimately like will come top 20 at like 66, or he'll miss the cut by 20. It doesn't. There's no really in between, but it's a fun ride.
One guy that's popping in your top 20 here that I wanted to get your thoughts on, Sam, is Mark Hubbard, because he's really popping in your top 20 percentage. And I'm looking for a guy in the sub 7K to round up my lineup here, and he kind of jumped out to me.
Yeah, he's a weird. First of all, Ben, you asked me we were in our text chat a couple weeks ago. You asked me who the guy I knew was. This is the guy that went to my high school. And it's funny because he's like solid, but he just has like such like he doesn't really have any upside. I feel like and a lot of models I've seen too get kind of caught. It seems like he should have this T20, T10 upside, then he kind of just gets caught up, whether it be the putter or something. But I think he is a solid. He's kind of like a poor man's for this field, like a Charles Howell third, I'd say almost. I think he has decent cut making equity, but I don't think he has tournament winning upside, if that makes any sense. It's a tough one.
I think for a lot of the small field stuff that I play, sub 200, I find to round out my lineup.
Yeah. I guess we can move. I mean, I guess Ben, give us your 2 favorite bets you made this week.
Yeah, so how I've been doing this is I'll bet like 3 or 4 people, and then like just same unit wise bets, and then I'll take like some shots on like the longer odds or first round leader or something. But definitely bet. I think I bet Shane Lowry.
I think you're muted, Sam. I think you're muted, Ben.
Yeah, he is.
I think you just realized it. Ben, you're muted.
Let's wait.
There he is. You're good. Who were you saying you bet, Ben? All right, Ben's working on his audio. I'll give my my fiery outrights here, Sam. Are we ready?
I'm very ready.
So I had to take my guy Billy Horschel. I actually got a good number on him. I got 20-1, and he's been steamed up already. And then I also bet Tommy Fleetwood, the 2 guys who are getting steamed in the betting markets. I feel like a sharp, Sam. Those are my 2 outright bets, and they're already getting steamed.
Yeah, I mean, since you got some good value there, you can just kind of count that as a winning bet. Congratulations.
Of course. Yeah, just like Morikawa last week, 17 under. Got it.
What'd you get Fleetwood at?
I got him at 18. Now he's down. He was down to 14. I thought I saw on DraftKings
Oh my
Sportsbook.
goodness.
He got steamed, dude. Not kidding. He's second best odds to win right now behind Sung Jae.
I have. So I said I bet Gary. I like the number on Gary a lot because I got him at 65-1, which
Wow.
I thought was a good bet considering he's better than a lot of guys in front of that. I bet Mito Pereira because I'll be damned if he wins a tournament and I'm not on him, his first one. I will be damned. And then I have some kind of punts. I don't know. It's a tough one because I think that there is a lot of value this week in live betting, first of all, because there's so much volatility happens in those last holes. But I also
That's a great
think
point.
I think that it's tough to handicap it because look at the winners here. It's such kind of like a hodgepodge where it's like you have guys who have won
Can you
at
hear me?
shorter, like 30-1 or
we hear you
less.
now.
You've had
Okay. All right.
longer,
I don't know what, dude. I
those
don't
kind
know
of
why
favorites.
it cut out, but
Yeah, Ben. Now that you're
All right.
back, we're ready for your bets.
Okay. Yeah. No. I bet Shane Lowry. So I bet like 4 people, and then I'll take some shots. But I bet Shane Lowry at plus 2,200, and then I bet Rube's boy Seabez at plus 4,100. I love betting on guys that putt well, because I cannot watch someone play for 3 or 4 days and they're missing putts. Like I literally cannot stand that. So
Sam and I are
betting
masochists.
on guys
We
that
love
putt
the
well.
opposite. Sam and I are masochists. We want to sweat the putts and then get mad when they miss the putts that we know that they were going to miss anyway.
I prefer betting on guys who, if they had just made about half those putts, they would have won, but then they don't make any, so they lose. That's
I have a question for Sam though. I haven't really decided on who I want to take a shot on, but one guy I wanted to ask you about. I didn't bet him or anything, but I'm just curious. What is your take on Johnny Vegas this week?
So I like Vegas. I'm worried.
This is a guy I like to bet on for some reason. I don't know why.
Welcome to the club. Yeah, his course history
he has
is
really
good.
nice shoulders, man. He looks the part when he's on the course. I think that's what it is.
Yep.
You guys, for people listening to this pod, like you thought you came here for like picks analysis, but like you didn't even realize you're getting like shoulder, like body analysis.
Good traps.
Like you don't just get that.
Dude, he looks the part on the course. That's if I'm gonna bet on you, especially, I'm not gonna pretend I know a ton about golf. I watch it, but if someone looks the part on the course, this plays a big factor, in me wagering money on you.
So I like Vegas. He sets up well, along with the fact that he has good course history. Ben, I will warn you though, just so you're aware, he is a really bad putter, so not really your style.
I know,
but
I know it's tough.
I almost put him on the card. I was too busy betting Chris Kirk, who's not going to win. I think Vegas. What number do you have in that? I like him to a certain number, but on DK,
he's the same number on FanDuel Sportsbook. Has him the same number as Seabez. It's plus 4,100. I don't know. I mean, I already bet Seabez at that. I'm gonna have to bet now that we've talked about Ricky. I'm gonna have to bet Ricky. I'm just gonna have to. So
what are Ricky's
factor that in as well?
Oh my God.
50-1. 50-1 for Ricky Fowler.
Talk about a donation, Ben. Talk about a donation.
Yeah,
Ricky.
Oh, now that we've talked about it, I have to manifest it.
I'm adding Seabez. I'm adding Seabez to my card right when we get off of here. I'm getting that bet in as well.
I probably am too.
Yeah, we got it. We got to all root for that.
I mean, Ben, for the record, I do like that Vegas. Like, I think he opened at 40, so it's still a good number. It's tough with him because I would almost I was just telling Rueb, I'm not sure if you had gotten your mic back, but it's like for live betting, like, I almost want to see if other guys are sucking or because Vegas normally after his front 9, it's like, all right, he shot 45, he's out of the tournament or he's in it, but you also run the risk of him actually playing well in the first round for once and then that number getting slashed. I mean, I think honestly, Vegas is probably the guy picking that range is my favorite bet, but I don't know. I mean, it's just tough to see Patrick Reed not just winning now that I look at it. What are we doing here? He's so not winning. Don't.
Sam just spends every week. Sam spends every week just. one guy, Sam, I think you do really, really well. Instead, you just got to fire it off on all these guys just because you kind of like them a little bit, and then you're just burning money away.
I have a Sebastian Munoz problem and a Carlos Ortiz problem.
Hey,
Sebastian Munoz T20 last week comes T21.
Yeah.
He
was part of the reason why I min cashed with Gooch last week. So yeah, Munoz is good in my book.
It was just awesome to see him start in the top 10 on Sunday and then not catch a top 20 bet.
I'm excited for this Sunday tilt. Watching the bear trap, and we're just watching people absolutely implode. I'm really excited for it. I'm looking forward to it.
What do you live for? Before we get out of here, I guess we gotta do a bold call. Normally AC and I do, our favorite bet. We were talking about this. I said we go bold call. And Ben, yours better be so bold, and it better not be Ricky wins, because that's just.
I mean, that's kind of what it was going to be, but I won't make it that. So let me go last. I can think about something here.
Rueb, do you have a bold call, or do you want me to go?
You give your bold call. I'm thinking about one right now. You said be really bold, so now you got me thinking. You know what? I've got one for you, Sam. I'm going to say that none of the you could tell me if this is bold or not. None of the 10K or above golfers are in the winning GPP lineup this week.
That's hilarious, dude. That was about to be mine. Wow, that's so
good, right? None of the 10K.
I like that. Yeah, I'm going to say that. I'm going to say of the. Like in the biggest whatever of the top 10 highest owned guys, I'm gonna say 7 at least missed the cut.
I love that.
And I'm also
chalk goes to die.
Yeah, I'm also kind of also now that I said that, I'm sure like all the chalks can come through, record scoring.
Billy Horschel wins by 5 strokes. He's like 12 under on Sunday.
If Billy Horschel wins by 5 strokes, I will lose money.
Sam will be broke. Yep,
I will be very, very broke. Yeah. All right, Ben. Ben, the build-up is here.
I'm gonna go with a top 10 for our boy Kramer. I don't know how.
That's really good. I like that. That's a good call.
Yeah.
In my temporary lineup, I had Kramer Hickok in it in my main lineup, so that gives me now it's a lock now.
I have him in mine as well.
Oh man. This was fun, boys. We should try to do this every week, honestly.
We should. Just AC, if you made it this far into the podcast, if you're even going to listen, I doubt it. You might get replaced here by this trio.
Yeah. I'm down to come on the golf pod. I love this.
It's so funny. I wonder if people feel the same way about this pod as like how have you seen when Ben and I do our live streams during NFL season, like the amount of praise we get when Anthony's not on the stream? People are like, oh yes, thank God, let's go. Let's actually ask some questions.
It wouldn't be a good podcast if we didn't, shit on AC a little bit. It wouldn't be a return. I wouldn't feel right returning back to the streams without shitting on AC a little bit. Shout out to Anthony.
All right, well, let's all root for Billy Horschel and miss the cut. Ben, can you go through our stuff on how to access our content? Because even though I work at DFS Karma, I don't know how to find it or how to get to it.
Yeah. DFSkarma.com. You can roll over the PGA tab, get access to Sam's articles. This is a must read. If you play PGA DFS, I don't care if you want to subscribe or not. It's a must read to read his article every week. It's free on the site. If you want access to the core plays, you can go to the pricing option at DFSkarma.com. Sign up, get in the Discord. You can get in the Discord for free. chatdfs.com. And I mean, really, there's no reason not to sign up at this point. Especially, I've been playing more. We got Anthony Yu as well.
I mean, we're about to heat up too. We got Arnie's tournament coming up. We got the Players. Then we got the Masters GOAT tournament. I mean, it's
we're in a good stretch right here for tournaments for sure.
Yeah, we are. All right,
it's gonna be awesome. Can't say enough. Read Sam's article. The best in the business. Read Sam's article.
You guys are too sweet.
Thank you
we
guys.
We will talk to everyone next week.